Okay. And now we are live on YouTube. Perfect. This is actually the first time that I'm going live on this YouTube channel. Very interesting. One moment. How is everyone doing today? We are in the last day of September. Is that not interesting? Is this year not flown by? Amazing, isn't it? I'm going to begin started very shortly, y'all. Attending to the members of the Living Light Society, letting them know that their most recent information is now available to them. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Peace, blessings, and living light love to you all here on my personal YouTube channel, as well as on my TikTok. My name is Hassan Ajayi. Of course, I am the Agent of the Light, and I'm the Vishwaranuma, or Universal Guide of the Living Light Society, which is a spiritual ministry here to help awaken the spark of living light within you via cosmology, angelic magic, energy healing, and more. If you would like more information on how you may join us, please email livinglight to agentofthelight19@gmail.com. Again, that's agentofthelight19@gmail.com. And I welcome all of you on my YouTube and on my TikTok to your light stream of the day. This is a brand new form of content of which I've created. For those of you who have been keeping up with me on the different social media platforms that I've been on, of course, I have different series. Today's translation being the main one. Today's translation, the expansion, which is actually on my Patreon, which is the home of my conscious content. If you want to sign up over there and subscribe, become a subscriber for $4.99, you can go to patreon.com/the agent of the light. That is the home of all of my conscious content. So if you want to look at things that I do, as well as do not post on any of the other platforms that I'm on, you want to see it all concerning the Agent of the Light, please go to patreon.com/the agent of the light. Plenty of content over there for you to explore and to help you to expand in your spiritual knowledge, to help you to understand more about what the Living Light Society is. There are many different video blogs as well as services. You actually get 2 free gifts when you become an official subscriber to my Patreon. Again, that's $4.99 a month. You get those 2 free gifts. You also get access to content that is exclusive to my Patreon, which is so affectionately titled The Agency. So again, please join me over on Patreon to gain access to my full library of conscious content. For those of you who are on YouTube and will watch this, you can also follow me on TikTok, tiktok.com/the agent of the light. For those of you who are on TikTok, please go follow, even though this is not my Agent of the Light YouTube channel, I will be posting this video as well on there. This is actually on my personal YouTube, as it has the amount of subscribers that is prerequisite for me to go live. So y'all make sure you go follow me on my YouTube as well, youtube.com/@Agent of the Light. Okay, let's get the subscribers going up on there as well, because I also post content on there that is exclusive to YouTube concerning videos and shorts. Now, with that being said, this light stream of the day actually was a form of content that I started on my TikTok as I'm growing my audience over there. For those of you who are not familiar with the recent developments and updates on my content, I will no longer be on Instagram or Twitter. I've actually deleted all of my X or Twitter accounts, both of them. And as of tomorrow, I will no longer be on Instagram. I will only be on YouTube, TikTok, and of course, Patreon. So make sure that you are following me on all of those platforms if you value my content and if it is bringing you into a space of expansion and enrichment, and it is a source of empowerment for you. Okay. But the live stream of the day got started on TikTok, and it has now extended, of course, to my Patreon, where everything is posted on there. And I'm going to start posting. And it's also actually been posted on my Agent of the Light YouTube channel. Okay. Again, let's get the subscribers going up on that YouTube channel, which is the home for my Agent of the Light content. This is my personal YouTube page where I be looking at the videos I be looking at, right? But I did want to go live on here because I wanted you all to experience what a live stream of the day is about. I also have more subscribers on this channel. So for those of you who will watch this, make sure that you go to my official YouTube channel, put that @ and then Agent of the Light in your search bar, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Okay. But as far as the light stream of the day for today, make sure you drink your water too, right? The live stream of the day for today. Oh, blessings. I have someone joining me on the live on the YouTube. Blessings. Living light love to you. The live stream of the day for today is titled Necessary Friction, which is something that is incredibly important to understand, because this life, this experience as human beings, inherently entails friction. And it's very important to architect a different understanding of what friction is, what it means, and what it actually could entail in regards to our growth and development. We all have moments in our lives where things get tense. And we all ask those questions in those moments in our lives, such as, why is this happening? What is the purpose of this? What is the cause of this? Why is this happening to me? There are varying degrees of tension and friction in our lives that we experience. And that is due to a number of factors, spiritually speaking. Of course, I'm going to approach things from a spiritual perspective. I am a universal guide and spiritual advisor for a living. So I'm also a student of the way, right? Spirituality changed my life before I began to use spirituality to change other people's lives, or to help other people change their lives, rather, I should say. So I'm always going to approach things from a spiritual perspective concerning me, right? So I've looked at the areas in which I've experienced tension. Even this year, there was a period earlier this year where I experienced a lot of tension, which we would more commonly refer to a moment like what I experienced back in between May and July as a tower moment. Has anybody ever experienced a tower moment? Not so fun, is it? It's but see, that's why it's called a tower moment, because it will change you forever, because there is a great amount of data in that moment for you. Greetings, blessings. Welcome to the live. There is a great deal of data in a tower moment for you to extract from the experience, from your own thoughts and emotions, from any of the parties that may be involved in your tower moments, right? But tension, even though it can feel incredibly uncomfortable in our lives, frictitious moments in our lives cannot feel good. That's natural, right? That's very natural. But what I will say is that it can feel better than it does. Well, how would that happen, Hassan? You might be asking. It happens by a matter of rearranging your perception on why it is that you are experiencing this type of friction in your life. Hence the term or the title of this live stream of the day, which is necessary friction. Actually, it may have been, actually, it was not, but it was one of the first, it was not the first, but it was one of the first today's translation videos that is still up on my YouTube. Again, put in that search bar @Agent of the Light. For those of you on TikTok, youtube.com/@Agent of the Light. I'm so glad to hear that. I give thanks. Thank you for joining the live stream. Blessings to you. Living light love to you. One of the first today's translations that I ever did when I started the series a couple of years back, you can go look at that video today, is called Tension. And then in parentheses, it says, is a point of transfer. And I use, because I'm a martial artist as well, practitioner of almost actually 26 years. Interestingly enough, I stopped counting how long I've been doing karate and martial arts as a whole, right? Because it's a way of life. But I use the analogy regarding martial arts that when you throw a punch, as an example, right? Throughout the entirety of the punch, except at the end, your body should be relaxed. You can't start a punch tense, because then the energy that you have harnessed, or your chi or your ki, right? It has no way to travel. If you're tense from the start, in order to create speed, because they say speed creates power, right? So what creates speed? Relaxation. You have to be relaxed, because speed is a result of channeling energy, right? And the faster that you are able to harness that energy is actually a byproduct of how relaxed you are from the get-go. That's how Bruce Lee was able to move as fast as he was, right? But at the end of your technique, that is when the body tenses up. That's when the body tenses up. Why is that? It is because that is when you are transferring the energy from where you have harnessed it, which actually begins as negative ionic energy in your body that you gather from the earth, from the soles of your feet, collaborating with your own energy within the solar plexus chakra, which in Sanskrit is known as Manipura, right? That is the seat of the fire in your body. So the negative ionic energy that you gathered from the earth, conjoining with the solar fire of your solar plexus, and then reaching up to the gate of the heart and then either transferring to the arms in the case of throwing a punch, or going from the solar plexus back out into the legs, as in the case of a kick, right? But it's at the point at which you end the technique or you make contact with who it is that you're striking is where the tension occurs, and not a moment before. Now, what is the analogy? What is the point that I'm making here? Is that tension in regards to the martial arts technique is used to transfer energy, not to hold it in. It's used to transfer. So this can be used as an analogy for life. When you experience tense moments in your life, not only should you be asking, what is this making me think? And what is this making me feel? But what you should also be asking is, what is that making me do or want to do? I'm going to repeat that. When you experience tension in your mind, in your heart, in your body as a result of an experience that you've had, as a result of reflection, as a result of loss, maybe of some form or fashion, whatever the experience may consist of. But when you experience tension, not only should you be asking yourself, what is this making me think, by being aware of your thoughts? And what is this making me feel by way of experiencing your emotional state? But what is this making me do and want to do? Because what people will not tell you about tension, that Hassan Ajayi will, is that you can use it. You can use tension. You can use, again, necessary friction. You can use that energy in an alchemical sense to be able to grow and to evolve past the point where you are. And often in our lives, when we experience tense moments, that is because we are at the precipice of great change. It means that we are about to change into something greater than who it is that we are and what consists of our being at this current point in time. You're not just experiencing tension just because often people would relegate that to, well, that's just the way my hand was dealt, Hassan. What I'm going to do about that? Right? How many times have you said that yourself? And how many times have you heard somebody say something like that? That's just the hand that I was dealt. And I beg the question, YouTube, TikTok, is that it? That's just the way the cookie crumbles and you just got to deal with it? You got to roll with the punches? And is that it? Is there no reason beyond that, which is just a perception, as to why you are experiencing this tension, this friction? There has to be, right? Otherwise, life would be as and I'm saying this unfortunately, exactly, we got to push through. Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate that. It is actually what many people unfortunately think, which is just, well, life is meaningless. And we go through these things like how the Buddhist monk might think or perceive their experience of life, which is every moment spent in this incarnation, it's actually a prison to them. It's imprisonment to the Buddhist monk. That is so that they can strive to achieve their grand potential, which is ascending outside of this incarnate experience of being humans. right? Totally understand the premise behind that thought process. I don't necessarily agree with the fact that every moment that we spend here is, we're on a prison planet, or, that every moment spent in the body is suffering and things of that nature. I don't necessarily ascribe to that. But I do agree with the fact that in striving for more, through your perception of what it is that you are experiencing, you can become a greater version of yourself. You can achieve a state that is beyond where it is and what it is that you currently are. I do agree with that. So I ask all of you on YouTube, I ask all of you on TikTok, is friction necessary? Do we experience unnecessary friction? I'm going to repeat that question to all of you. Do we experience unnecessary tension and friction? And to play the advocate, sometimes we do. Sometimes we're in a relationship with somebody that we have been made aware of the fact that this person is no good for us. By family members, by friends, by our spiritual agency, our ancestors. They let us know this person is not good for you. You might want to make a move away from this person, but you stay anyway. I know I've been in a situation like that. But the situation that I was in, I inevitably came to understand was for a reason. It wasn't just because that person wasn't being good to me. I see. Then I hope that what it is that I'm sharing with you today is helping you to change and rearrange that mental construct and perspective. It is that you might still be in that situation. I do hope that this is helping. But it wasn't for no reason, personally speaking. The reason, blessings to that. I'm glad to hear that. Email Living Light to agentofthelight19@gmail.com. And actually, I'm going to put that in the chat for you. And actually, I'm going to give you something else to email, because I may be able to be of service to you beyond this live stream. Here we go. For those of you, by the way, looking for general spiritual advisory and how I can be of service to you through spirituality to help you improve the quality of your life, email guidance to agentofthelight19@gmail.com. I may be able to be of service to you, and I'd be happy to help you. Now, if that situation that you might be in, Mimi, or anybody else that is going to watch this, is teaching you something, and you're not just being a martyr, you're not just being a doormat for somebody to just walk on. If it's teaching you things specifically about you, then it's not for no reason. I would say that don't stay in a situation beyond the necessary duration, right? Don't just be in a situation and go, well, there's lessons in here from, I've been in that space too. I'm speaking from experience, okay? Well, there are lessons in here for me, and I can help this person, and they're actually helping me in turn. And what I was actually doing was catalyzing an experience in which I was being abused because I was afraid of being alone. Transparency. I was afraid of being alone. which is actually something I'm very good at, right? How many of you have felt that? YouTube, TikTok. How many of you have felt that how many of you cannot even admit that you are afraid to be alone? Not lonely. Lonely is something totally different. Lonely is a mental construct and perception that is based in an illusion. To make you feel validated, the person that says I'm lonely, to make you feel validated about being and or feeling inadequate about yourself. So you say, well, I'm lonely, and that validates the inadequacy that you have yet to deal with. And even the inadequacy might be an illusion, right? So if something or someone has something to teach you and you are learning those lessons, wonderful. That means that the tension that you may be experiencing in that dynamic or the friction that you may be experiencing is necessary. Don't stay any longer than you should, though, right? Because then after a while, it becomes something that is you, kind of like Munchausen's, enjoying suffering, gaslighting people into making you into causing you to suffer. That's not good, right? But if what it is that you're in right now, or what it is that you have experienced before in the past, what you might quite possibly experience in the future, because tension is something that, in order for us to grow, is a part of our lives. We experience varying degrees of tension. Confirmation. I just got a wonderful. I look forward to helping you. I just got a notification on my and that actually might have been you, Mimi. That was your email. I look forward to speaking with you. I'll give you another example. When you go to the gym, I'm also a health and wellness professional. I'm a functional anatomy specialist, right? I train people in the gym space. I trained people in the gym space for 7 years, had clients all throughout the city of Atlanta. Okay, great reputation throughout the city of Atlanta for the work that I did in the personal training space. Now, when you go to the gym and, if you're a guy and you're doing your chest day, right? Which is like every day, or you're doing your arm day, or you're a female, a woman, and you're doing your leg day. You know what I'm saying? You're getting your squats on, you're getting your booty right, right? Or you're getting your abs right. You know what I'm saying? That's not easy, is it? I know that. Okay, so at one point in time, I worked at an LA Fitness when I was still located at Georgia territory, right? The director of my department, which was personal training, was a running back for the University of Kentucky. He was, I think, when they won the national championship too. And this dude is a bodybuilder. And I'm talking about chiseled from head to toe, like stacked with muscle. Okay. Lean, amazing. Okay. Him and I developed a really, really awesome friendship during my time at LA Fitness. And I would take him through some of my workouts as a martial artist, as a karate practitioner. And then he would take me through some of his workouts that he does as a bodybuilder. Not easy workouts, fam. Okay. Very, very challenging in regards to volume of, the workouts we were doing, how many sets, how many reps, how much rest time, things of that nature, right? How long the workout was. Not easy to be a bodybuilder, just like it's not easy to be a mixed martial artist. I've also done that training too. I've trained with professional mixed martial artists. Not, not easy. Okay. But what did all of that training help me to do? become a better martial artist. So yes, it was difficult. Yes, it brought me to points of holy crap, like my arms are shaking, my knees are buckling. I know I need to eat, but I don't even know if I have the strength to lift the fork or the spoon up to my mouth. you know, like it was not easy, but in turn, it made me better. So the point that I'm saying is that when you go to the gym, you are actually creating an experience of producing micro trauma throughout your musculoskeletal system. You're incurring trauma, micro trauma. You're breaking the muscles down. But why are you doing that? So that they build back up even stronger. And your body looks the way that you want it to. And you feel even better in your body and you look good. You go in the mirror and say, "Man, I look good today." And you start wearing clothes that fit the way that you feel. Right? You start taking yourself out, or you start putting yourself out on the dating scene, whatever the case may be. You go out with your male friends, you go out with your female friends. It produces a multitude of effects that benefit your life. What did that all come from, though? Tension. It came from tension. So I use that as an analogy to also state, again, to reinforce the point that tension, friction is actually necessary. The interesting part about it, though, is that even when we improve the quality of our lives and the friction that was necessary for us to reach a certain state of being lessens, it doesn't stop, but it lessens to a certain degree because it lessens because we've learned our lessons. I'm going to repeat that. Tension, I see. We're definitely going to be speaking. Your tension lessens when you've learned your lessons. So if you're learning your lessons, that doesn't mean that the friction that you experience is going to stop. Our bodies and our souls, more importantly, are built to consistently learn and evolve. Consistently, it's lifelong. If you truly are in the business of growing, that is. Because people may ask, well, what problems does Elon Musk have? The problems that someone like Elon Musk would have. But people see what tax bracket he's in and think that he ain't experiencing his necessary friction. That's not true. That's what you think about what Elon Musk is experiencing because of the tax bracket that you're in. Right? Or how your income or your wages look for you as opposed to how they look for Elon Musk and his rating in Forbes and things of that nature. Does that mean that he don't experience necessary friction? Absolutely not, it doesn't. Varying degrees of necessary friction. It just depends on what your 3:33 on the time as I say that. It depends on what your friction is leading you to regarding to the life that you were meant to live, which is bound on the contract of your soul. Yes, you do have a soul contract, and it will be fulfilled. No matter how many bodies it takes, your soul will fulfill its contract. The soul also learns. I'm going to repeat that. The soul learns. That's what it uses bodies for, to learn, to have an incarnate experience, so that it may go through the range of the human experience, that it may transcend it altogether. Yes, your soul is becoming something. So what are you learning? in regards to your life experiences that is helping your soul, which is who you truly are, to do that. That depends on you. And that is heavily dependent upon how you deal with the necessary frictions in your life. So I hope that blessings. I'm thankful that I could be of service to someone today. It is something that I hope that this live stream, or rather this light stream of the day, will help many people with. And I know that it's something that I have used to help me. I've transmuted this data within my own life experiences to see where and why my necessary friction was, where it was at that point in my life, and why it needed to be, and to not accept the woe is me victim mentality of, well, that just happened to me just because life don't like me. That's not true. That's not true. And if there is anyone who has adopted this mentality, who is listening to this message right now, who may hear that and go and may be shocked by that, your cognitive dissonance may be kicking in when you hear the phrase life is not against you. Well, hopefully that's the shaking up that you needed in order to change. But know that, take a note of this. Everything is on and with purpose. I'm going to repeat that. Everything is on, pardon me. Everything is on and with purpose. So if you adopt that mentality in your own unique way, you will see that the different frictions in your life that you have experienced of varying degrees have all been necessary. Because look at you now, right? With that being said, thank you all so much for joining this live stream of the day. I do look forward to connecting with you, Miss Mimi. I am greatly looking forward to that. Thank you all so much for joining me for this live stream of the day. I do hope that what I have spoken on today is beneficial and inspiring and enriching for each and every one of you. Again, you can follow me if you're watching this on YouTube on my official Agent of the Light channel. Just put in your search bar that @ and then Agent of the Light. That is my official channel for all of my conscious content here on YouTube. You can also follow me. Blessings to that. We're actually not too far away. I think. If you're watching here on YouTube, you can follow me on TikTok, tiktok.com/@ the Agent of the Light. For those of you who are watching on TikTok, you can follow me on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ Agent of the Light. And you can all follow me on my Patreon, the home of my conscious content, which is patreon.com/the Agent of the Light. If you would like more information on the Living Light Society, the spiritual ministry here to help awaken the spark of living light within you, and how you can join us, please email livinglight to agentofthelight19@gmail.com, and you will be sent our free orientation video on how you may join us and what you will be empowered with through what it is that we have to give to you to service you spiritually. Thank you all so much for joining me today. My name is Hassan Ajayi. I am the Agent of the Light, and we'll see you next time. Blessings.